consumer decision making process. So what this basically talks about is the series of steps which we go through whenever we buy products and services. So the first step in this so-called consumer buying process is called need recognition or problem recognition. When we say problem recognition, it basically means that you have identified that you have a need. You create an awareness of the need. So the awareness for the need, what you have gets developed. For example, let's say I'm tired. Let's say I'm hungry. Or let's say you're getting extremely uncomfortable day by day using public transport. So these are some of the needs which are being getting developed. The alternative way to describe that is a problem, right? You're not happy or uncomfortable with public transport. That's a problem. So that is where a need is getting developed, a need for an alternative solution to public transport. So that's the first step wherein the need gets developed, the problem gets identified, and you become aware that okay, I'm in need of so and so thing, I'm in need of so and so product. So that's the first step. So whenever you develop this need, that is when the other steps come into picture. Now, the moment you develop need, you don't directly go to second step. It depends whether you do the second step or not on certain factors. So let's say you on the way to home, right? You've attended all your classes. Now you're on the way back to your home and it's a very humid day also. So you're feeling extremely thirsty. So you are definitely looking to rejuvenate yourself. You're looking for a refreshment. And when you're traveling on the way, you see an advertisement of Coca-Cola on the hoarding put up on the roadside. And that is where okay, you see the ad and then you also relate it to your problem. And that is where you feel that, okay, I need to drink something, right? So you get identification of your need, you understand your problem, what you're going through, and then immediately you become aware, okay, I need something to drink because I'm thirsty, I'm tired. And of course that Coca-Cola ad serves as a motivation or it persuades you to immediately buy the product. So you might end up stopping your vehicle, probably visiting some uh, beverage or a juice shop and drink. So your need is satisfied. But instead, you're extremely thirsty. Would you do a information search? Would you stop your vehicle, put it aside, do a survey on internet, do a research on internet as to which beverage is good, whether it is Pepsi or whether it is Coke or whether it's a fruit juice or whether it is a milk based shake? Would you do an evaluation? The answer is you don't go for information search when you're in a state of being extremely thirsty. So when you're extremely thirsty, your immediate priority is to somehow get that need sorted out. You don't go for in detail study on what are the different options that are available to quench your thirst. But there are certain decisions for which we do information search, and this time the information search is quite elaborate and exhaustive. So the answer is, in case if it is a non-routine purchase are also known as high engaged purchases. So what are so-called non-routine or high engaged purchases? So these are purchase decisions which do not occur quite often, maybe only few times in your lifetime, or maybe only once in your lifetime. Let's say you people are deciding on what to wear for your wedding. You are planning to buy your wedding dress. Would you buy your wedding dress the way you buy groceries for your house? The answer is definitely no. Grocery buying is a routine decision that happens on a daily to daily basis. But buying a wedding dress is a lifetime decision, right? So probably once in a lifetime. So for a decision like this, definitely you would do a lot of research. So you would want to know what are the options that are available, what are the trends in the market. You also want to know what looks good for your personality type. You also want to know what is the opposite person, your partner, your so-called fiance or spouse is planning to wear. You want to do matchmaking. So there is a lot of there's a lot of rational process that goes on because it's one of a lifetime decision. So you wear this dress probably once in your lifetime. Of course, you must be thinking, why not twice also? Right? So yes, it's a non-routine decision. So a lot of information is required. You're buying a new LED TV for your family, for your house. So probably how many times would you buy an LED TV? Probably 2 or 3 times in the lifetime. So of course you want to do a lot of research. You want to see which is the best model. You want to know which is the best brand, right? You want to see the reviews. You want to watch the videos, and then you want to buy. So the point here is that the second step is a conditional step, which comes into picture only if it is a non-routine purchase. For routine purchases, also known as low engaged purchases, we don't dive into the ocean of information searching, right? So that's the difference. Then once, okay, you have done the information search, or let's say you have not done information search. So in case if there is no information search, the third step would also get skipped. So if your third step gets skipped for non-routine decisions or low engaged purchases, there's no information search, there's no evaluation of alternatives. You directly go for purchase decision because you already know what to buy. But in case of high engaged purchases, you want to take these two steps very seriously: information search and evaluation of alternatives. Now, you know what are the options that you have, which you have identified through information search process. You have identified 10 models or 10 brands. Now, on what grounds are you evaluating them? What is the criteria for evaluation? Now, at the time of joining your BCom, you would have done a research. You would have identified some 5 colleges. Now it's the time to choose the one which you want to join. On what basis? So what we do is in the third step, we define certain criterias and we try to match the product features with the criteria as what we have set. For example, if I want to buy a mobile phone, let's say the first criteria what I want is that the mobile phone should be stylish and it should be compact. It should not be too big. The second criteria is of course the camera. So it should have the best camera setup. Third criteria is the processor, because since I play a lot of games, so I want the processor to be extremely fast, right? Fourth criteria is of course the battery life. So these are the 4 parameters what I've identified. Now, whenever I try to buy a mobile phone, all the options which I have listed in the second step, which I've identified in the second step, gets evaluated on the basis of the parameters what I've set. So if those parameters or if those features meets my parameters, I shortlist them and then finally I buy the products. That's where purchase decision comes into picture. Can you influence customer at the fourth step also? Because customer is very clear in the third step. He has already decided, is already very clear. So is it possible to influence customer in the fourth step? The answer is possible. So marketers can influence customer even at the fourth step by offering him some sort of a deal, some sort of an offer. So sometimes offer and deals play an important role to change the decision. Sometimes it is the salesmanship. So you would probably go to a mobile store and you know that you want to buy only this particular brand, this particular model, but salesman gives you a different perspective. So he recommends you a different mobile phone and he also tells you why you should go for this. Probably he might also influence you. Right, so we do get influenced even at the fourth step. So it's not that the fourth step is always final and it goes the way we wanted it. So marketers try every step. Marketer tries every strategy to try to influence you at each and every step of the decision making process. But once you make purchases, that's not the end of your decision making process. What is important is the post purchase behavior. So after buying the product, are you satisfied? Has the product met your requirement? How was your experience after buying the product? So that is something these days which has become extremely important because customers do exhibit negative and positive behavior after they buy the product. If they are not satisfied with the product, they try to exhibit negative behavior wherein they try to communicate to their friends, their family members, they go on internet and post reviews. and that is where the brand name gets damaged. But in case if the customer is extremely happy, positive reviews, positive word of mouth will bring in a lot of sales. So the cost of losing a customer is much higher than the cost of getting a new customer. So brands at any cost don't want to lose the customers, and that is where they are trying their best to get back to customers after sales to figure out whether they are happy or not. So they are willing to make necessary adjustments there. If the product, if the customer is dissatisfied, if he feels that he's being cheated, the marketer is willing to do best what he can to make customer cheerful and joyful. So these are some of the important steps in the consumer decision making process.